Yeah, that would be.
But he got a letter. He was a letter boy. He was very. Okay. I'm scared of that. I'm afraid I'll be scared. So I'm pretty much home life. That's bad.
Hello.
Have you ever wear it?
Turn them down, turn them down. Check it out. Mine went off one time at the funeral. I was doing the funeral. Check your phones. Please just check. I don't want you to be embarrassed. My name is Mark. I'm going to do Marsha's funeral. I'll have a word of prayer. Then we're just going to talk a little bit, okay? You're going to hear a little music. Can you hear me okay? You're going to hear a little music. You're going to hear me waller around a little bit. And your heart's broken. And I know. And so does God. We're going to help one another. Is that a deal? Is that a deal?
Yes.
We're going to help one another. She's earned it. So have you. Let's have a word of prayer. Father, I ask that you help us in this place. That you settle our hearts down. Help us to hear you. Help us to feel love. Catch the tears as we remember. Protect us. Protect this family. Walk with them. All we have is to come to you, to ask. That's all we've got. Be here now, I ask. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. The family, you all have a love-hate relationship with that song, don't you? Do you know the story of that song? Some of you all were singing. You were singing it. She loved that song, didn't she? Wasn't that song? That was the song she was always kind of humming and whistling or whatever she was doing. Yeah. I think that side of the audience is much more feisty than this side. I have determined that that's the primary. So if you all just be aware, much of my attention is going to be, I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. I can't. I can't. All right. Are you all aware of that area? Andy, are you on that? Okay. All right, JB. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I was told that guys have been in police academy. One of the things. Now, this is a guy that had gone there and said, "This is what they're taught to do. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to say. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to say what I told you." Something like that. It's about teaching. That's how you do it. You're going to warn them, and then you're going to do it, and then you're going to remind them of what you just taught. So what I'm going to do is this, and this is, I think Marsha has earned this. I've known her through Debbie for many years now. For some reason, she picked me to do her funeral. It never fit into my schedule, JB. Never fit into my schedule, but she forced my hand this time. We're going to talk about, so I'm going to remind you some things that you already know. Okay? That's what this is. We're here together to do this very impossible thing. I have a wonderful black book that you see a lot of guys like me carry. All the rules and all the things and all the formulas and all the stuff. Well, I'm going to read a couple of things out of that. But we're just going to talk, and you're going to listen. And you're going to remember. And you're going to smile. And you'll cry. It'll be over. But it won't be. And that's what I want to tell you first. What we're doing is impossible. She lived a wonderful life. And she touched all of you. That's why you're here. You love her. And you love this family. That's why you're here. You're honoring her. Let me tell you something about how that works, though, with Marsha in this moment. It's kind of like this. Men, I know you especially understand this. I can't speak for women. I can't button my top button. I simply can't button it. I'm 55, I can't button my top button. But I can get this thing way up here really high to where you can barely notice it. Isn't that true, Andy? You didn't know. You didn't know until just now. But when I do this, you're going to see that I can't. And what we're going to do today, talking about Marsha, it's the same thing. We're never quite going to get there. You know it and I know. You can't describe love. But I'll say a few things about it. This would be like touring their house. I've been to their house just one time, and that's after Marsha passed. And it's a neat little house. If you've been there, probably all of you have, or you know, or else you wouldn't be here. I walked into the house, and it's just a neat house to me. But where I sat down, there was a stairway that went up into the darkness. And I guess, Andy, that was your neck of the woods. Yep. That's where they stuck you. Yep. You didn't have a basement, did you, JB? You did have a basement? And you couldn't go there. That's where you got your concussion. Wasn't that true? Yeah. All right. Well, what we're doing, I just want to share with you some things about Marsha that I've experienced that you already know, that I've been told. It's kind of like touring someone's house. We're not going to go upstairs. The mystery of her relationship with you and how she intersected in your life, those precious private conversations, those times maybe if you worked with her, you've been friends with her for decade upon decade. Those are those precious gifts that she's given to you. That belongs to you. Cherish it. But there's some basic things that I know about her. She was very passionate about her family. And she was very protective of her family. Now, when you look at these guys, do they need protection? Andy and the two grandsons? Probably not. But that was Marsha's heart. They mattered that way. Little Marsha protecting these big old guys. How precious. What a revealer of her heart. Did you know what her favorite color was? Who thinks they know it? JB, do you know it? Maybe, maybe not. You know, it's one of those things where husbands should, but then they may not because they're always going to get something. You know, I thought this is your favorite color. No, that wasn't it. Do you know it? It's blue. Blue is your favorite color. I know you think these kinds of things don't matter, but they do, and they help us. I wore my blue shirt because Marsha's favorite color was blue. I wore my blue tie because Marsha's favorite color was blue. That's how Marsha affects you. That's what love does. Whenever you see blue, you can't unsee this now. You cannot hurt her. Marsha's favorite color was blue. So when you see blue, all the memories of Marsha will flood back in Christ. And that's just a precious gift that she gives us. I know, Debbie, you didn't tell me what year the Mustang was, but Marsha had this, I don't know what to call it. It was a ritual. It was something that she did, and Debbie was involved in this. They would put curlers in their hair. Is that right?
Yes.
You wash your hair first, I'm assuming.
Yes.
I don't have that problem. I don't. And then you put curlers in your hair, and then you would go for a drive in the Mustang to do what? To dry their hair. You know, new technology has come out since then. But probably you're doing a lot more than that. You're probably having fun and giggling and showing off the car. That's just another fun little Marsha story. You know where she worked. If you've read the obituary, you've known her forever anyway. She retired from the hospital. And she worked in different capacities at the hospital. Just out of curiosity, anyone here work with her at the hospital? Raise your hand if you don't mind. Just Debbie. Just Debbie. You would imagine going to the hospital and all the chaos that is off there emotionally and physically. Marsha worked in that kind of environment and worked in the environment which she saw it and worked in administration in which she had to deal with other kinds of things. That That's what either made her or she made it. I'm not sure. Probably both are true. But that's something that helped inform the Marsha that you know, and the Marsha that you love. Did you know that she knew how to write in shorthand? Does it matter? Probably not. No, it doesn't. How many of y'all know how to write shorthand? A couple in the back. It's that side. Again, that side's going to help. It's just an interesting thing about Marsha. And she never let it go. She could continue to write shorthand. Just a little fun fact about Marsha. It's part of who we are as people. There's gobs of stuff that we know and tons of stuff that we don't. This is just one more thing. For her, a single mom. That kept her grounded, didn't it? Mama Bear. I would say that's the truth. What an experience that was. I don't want to talk about Bigfoot much, but I need to bring Bigfoot up some. Andy, you do watch Bigfoot, right? Don't you? Come on, JB. What did you do when she was watching Bigfoot? JB, did you have to stay there? Did you have to watch it? Oh, yeah. Okay. Marsha, this is just a fun way. No, you probably don't care, but it matters. She loved to watch stuff about Bigfoot. Loved it. And every time there would be some new thing, Debbie would have to tell her about it, and Marsha would want to find it. She just had this strange, fun interest in this. Heck, Andy watches it, doesn't even believe. But something about Bigfoot, Marsha's made an enormous, instead of a footprint, but an imprint on your heart. Didn't she? Of course. She was a dedicated friend. I was told this by her best friend. A dedicated friend. And I hope and pray that that was your experience too. I would anticipate as such. Maybe a lesson that Marsha could give all of us is make sure that we are dedicated friends. Make sure that we are protective of our family. Make sure that we do like to laugh. Because there's a lot of pain in this world. And if anyone experienced pain, especially the last number of years, Marsha knew what it was. And yet she still watched Bigfoot. She still laughed. She still teased. All the things that she could do in spite of the difficult hand that she experienced. She continued to try. She continued. And what a wonderful lesson that is for us. And I hope you take something from that. What a great gift you could give her, don't you think? Probably as Marsha walked through this last season of her life, did you ever wonder, how would I be? That affected me. What would I do? Well, whenever I would be engaged with Marsha in conversation and through Debbie and just interacting with the family, even though it was tough and affected her very deeply, she was still able to scrap. She was still able to carve out laughter and hope. And that matters. What a great lesson, I think, for us. She liked flowers. She liked flowers. You see flowers. Spring's around the corner. Isn't that good? Think of Marsha as spring. JB, I don't know what you have blooming or what will be blooming around your house. But that's just a reminder of Marsha's love and what it is that she loved. And let that always keep you near to her. Debbie says she wasn't an athlete, but she was a cheerleader. And that's where you met her back in junior high. She liked to sit in the sun, absorb the rays. Now we know better, don't do that. But that was what she enjoyed doing. Did you know that? Again, it's that upper room stuff. No one knows. Maybe that's a lesson too. Let's be invested in the lives of one another, not because of nosiness, but because we love them. That if we have to share something about people that we love from the past, we have something to say. It's really good. So as you get older, and looking around this room, many of you are, and I'm people here. As you get older, it can be the loneliest time of your life. It doesn't have to be. Be a friend. Get to know people. when they go home, it hurts, but you have something to say. That's Marsha. On the way to school, apparently, they would stop at Thrasher's Market and buy Cokes and candy. That was Debbie's experience. Something else about her I would like to say, and this is especially directed to you, Andy. I would say, and you told me the story, that when your mom was raising you, you didn't have gobs of money, and you were walking home one day, and you were a teenager, I guess, or how old were you? You know the story I'm about to tell you. 12 or 13. All right. Walking home, and this is Marsha. She's protective. She's a hard worker. All the things that you know. There were these shoes back then, these high top Nikes of some kind. If you have an interest in them, you can talk to Andy afterwards. I'm sure you can share. And of course, they couldn't afford them. Like a lot of shoes are very expensive. And 12 and 13-year-old adolescent boys' tastes are probably, anyway, that was just expensive. Well, he was walking home, and Andy heard this car behind him. And it was his mom, it was Marsha. And she had a single brand new that shoe. And she was showing him, and she drove on. And of course, Andy took off after her because she had gone away to buy him those shoes. That was Marsha. That's the woman that loved JB, loved you, Andy, grandkids, and all those in her orbit. And my hope and prayer to you is that, and especially this family, is that as you walk this path, you hear the rumble. Maybe as Marsha is passing you in hope and memory, and she says, follow me. I remember when she was at hospice house, we baptized her again. Not everyone would. I don't really care. I did because she was here. The baptism didn't save her. She already received Christ, who is her hope. But it was a precious reminder. And there was something bigger and eternal, different than the body that was slowly fading away. Surely goodness and mercy caught her and took her home. And I pray that this family and these friends remember that God's surely goodness and mercy not only is following you, but is leading you all the way home. The text I'd like to read to you is in the book of John, chapter 11, verse 25 and 26. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. Whoever lives by believing in me will never die. Do you believe this? I believe this is not the end for Marsha. I'm so sorry for the pain that you're feeling. I wish we could fix it. But there is a hope that says this is not the end. Embrace that hope. Don't let go. Marsha's home. Let's celebrate that. Father, I ask that you help this family. You help them. This is an itch that cannot be scratched. It's a place that we can't seem to get to. But you can help us. You can help them in this new season of their lives. Protect them as the tears flow. Protect them maybe as all the second guessing and wondering would happen. If loneliness and when it sets in, embrace them just as you embrace Marsha. Protect them from grieving without hope. I pray that your hope is the sound of the wind, the soft sound of sandal feet as Christ moves in our midst. Protect them now as we honor Marsha. And it's in the name of Christ I pray. Amen.
When peace like a attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, thou taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well. It is well. My soul. Though Satan should fall, though trials should come, let this blessed assurance control. And Christ carry on my helpless state, and that shed His own blood for my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul. My sin away of its glorious my sin, not in part, but the whole is nailed to the cross, and praise the Lord, my soul. Is rest with my soul. My soul is well. Is well with my soul. Is with my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul.
Maybe you should get a different.
This is pretty good. She told me that. Carol's the ugliest thing.
Well.
Carol was the ugliest. Yes, I think. But she's changed everything. She saved my I'm trying.
Don't let me see it on the other foot next
Yeah, me too.